Good afternoon, everyone. We have several people still in the waiting room. We're adding to the call as we speak. We're just going to hold on for a couple more minutes and then we're going to get started. Hey, Teresa. You're on mute, but it's nice to see you.
I was just saying good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nobody else has ever been on mute and talked, I'm sure.
No, never happens. Welcome everyone to Marching Forward Monday. Sorry we weren't with you last week, but we were traveling at an off-site at the NGLCC conference, which was outstanding, and we saw several of our colleagues there. So hello again. We just got a couple more people joining, and we'll be ready to start in a couple more minutes. Thank you.
This will give you a chance to adjust my camera.
Okay. Right, I see Lauren. Right, one more minute and then we'll let you start, Keel. So you want to get ready to share your screen and I'll introduce you.
All right, perfect.
Okay. Once again, it's Nancy Connor with Novoba. Welcome to all of our guests today for Marching Forward Monday. We've got 4 presentations for you today. So we're going to get started with Keel Russell, the CEO of Orange Lab. Keel, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. So again, my name is Keel Russell. I'm the founder and CEO of Orange Lab Media. My pronouns are he and him. I'm a Black male wearing a blue shirt. So Orange Lab Media is a creative marketing agency that's based in sunny South Florida. We specialize in brand and merchandise, and we do that by way of promotional products, awards and recognition programs, sales incentive programs, all on a global scale. Collectively, our leadership is made up of myself, a 12-year Army veteran, served in the military for, from straight out of high school. And my business partner, Patrick Sr., who's not on the call, and Maddie Toombs, who are VP of Marketing and Sales. Collectively, we have over 60 years of combined experience in brand and merchandise space and manufacturing space. Our mission is to become your global merchandise fulfillment partner. And how we do this is by creating unique marketing experiences that leave a lasting impression for your clients and that drives business growth and brand awareness. Some of the core values that we live by is think local, be global, quality first, price second mentality. And I want to touch on that just a little bit. On a quality first mentality, we always try to be the best quality that we can be or provide the best quality for products, because when we believe that when our clients get a cheap product, that they might not have the best experience, and that's going to leave the lasting impression for them. So they're not going to want to use our service anymore. But if we provide the best quality at a competitive price, they'll always come back to us. And I want to touch on one of the last value, one of our core values at the end is ultimately we get shit done. And excuse my French, but that's just to be blunt and frank and forward with it, is that we get the project done. There's no sugarcoating it. We we source the product, we manufacture the product, and we do that on a global scale for our clients. And there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes that most of our clients don't get to see. When there's logistic issues, we resolve those issues. We get the products delivered on time. So, and two other issues is that, two other core values that we live by is, champion sustainability. As we try to, our ultimate goal is to leave this world a better place than how we found it. So with every every category of products that we provide, we always try to include 2 or 3 items that are sustainable in that presentation. So this is like our global reach. We have manufacturing plants and suppliers on most of all the countries that we work with. So some of the countries that we work in is China, obviously, Australia. We have Greece, that's not on the map right here, but Dubai, South America. We actually have, this map actually has to be updated because we actually have operations in Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, and then Mexico and Canada, and Europe, obviously. Oops. And so in terms of all our services that we provide is company e-stores, promotional products, awards and recognition programs, and sales incentive programs. Some auxiliary services that we provide are graphic design services, brand and logo management. We like to see ourselves as your your brand watchdog or police watchdog for your brand. So like if there's a department that wants to go rogue and do their own department logo and it's not within the brand guidelines, we'll tell them that it's not allowed. And it makes us look bad, but at the end of the day, our relationship is with the company, not the department. So we see ourselves as an added value or an extension of the brand. So we're going to always police the brand for you. And when it comes to global warehouse and fulfillment, that previous map I showed illustrate that we have the global capacity and kitting services as well. Some of the core benefits of working with our firm is that we have a creative culture. For any company that we onboard or work with, we create a 12-month marketing plan. We don't like to just see like, let's take on a program and then the product doesn't move off the shelves. We like to create a 12-month marketing plan to help push the product off the shelf and get it into the key stakeholders' hands. We're financially stable. We have an in-house design team. We have 12 global fulfillment centers worldwide now, and we are a diverse firm. And lastly, we know supply chain. We deal with it every day. Some of our certifications that we have obviously Novoba. We're certified as a service-disabled veteran-owned firm, MVBDC, and disability. And on the federal side, we're certified by the VA as a service-disabled veteran-owned firm and as a hub zone firm as well. Going back to one of our core values, one of our 10 core values that we promote diversity and inclusion within our firm. So we have our own spend goals. And our goal is to spend 10% of every, within each of these categories that you see on the screen. So that's Black-owned firms, veteran-owned firms, minority-owned firms, women-owned firms, disabled-owned, and LGBTQ+. We're a growing company. Since our inception, we've been growing year over year. This year, we're projected to do $1.7 million. And next year, we're projected to do about 3.7 with the new contracts we just onboarded in early Q1 of this year. Some of the big brands that trust Orange Labs are Bristol Myers Squibb. We have a 4-year MSA with them. We have a 3-year MSA with Biogen, a 3-year MSA with Amgen, Royal Caribbean. We continuously do work with Starbucks, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, JM Family Enterprise, which is the largest importers of Lexus and Toyota in the US, TD Bank. We also have 5-year contracts with GSA, and Department of Justice, specifically the FBI. And we've done business with the Air Force as well as the Veterans Affairs. Some project highlights. This is of Bristol Myers Squibb. So in 2020 and 2021, we were able to produce 16,000 shirts and ship them to 16,000 employees worldwide in over 55 countries. And so this website that you see here, we translated our website into 28 different languages to accommodate the different countries that we were shipping to. And this was a pop-up shop. So it was a project that was specific to a department that we were able to create in 3 to 4 days. which would normally take us a week or two to create, but we did it in such a short time frame to help accommodate them and with their marketing campaign. So this is a illustration of some of those project highlights of that particular project, shipping to those 55 different countries and translating that website to 28 different languages. Another illustration of some of our creativity is with Mary Kay. We've been working with Mary Kay for the past 4 years. So in 2020, in the height of the pandemic, they tapped us on the shoulder and say, hey, we want to reward and celebrate our consultants that's working remotely now. What do you guys have? So we came up with the Fiesta Zoom party. So the box that you see on the left is a box that we designed for them, but we realized that we made a mistake in the design, and we had added the words inside the box where the items are going to go on top. So they're not going to be able to see those words. So the second design we came up with was with the words on the flaps. So as that says, I'm ready to fiesta with you. And this was a fiesta themed party. So the items that went inside that box was the maracas, the sombrero, the piñatas, the party favors, the confetti poppers. The only thing that this actual presentation was missing was the tequila, but the Mary Kay has a strict no alcohol policy, so we had to leave that out. And this slide illustrates some more of our creativity. We took their brand iconographies and put it on different elements of their different apparel, and we included that inside of a box. And this was shipped to their top sales earners within Mary Kay. And then the umbrellas on the right that you see, there is a color changing umbrella that changes colors when it gets wet. So this is ultimately why big brands trust Orange Lab. We have a quality control. We have quality products. We are focused on customer service. We're customer service centric, and ultimately we get stuff done. But again, our relationships is built on chemistry. Most of the clients that we work with today, they have our first name. We work on a first name cell phone basis. So they have access to our cell phones. They could call us at any time. Not that we ever encourage it, but they could call us anytime, whether it's the weekend or night, especially if we're doing international project form where, in those countries, they're 12 hours ahead or 8 hours ahead. So they're in their daytime. We have to, meet them where they are in their journey. So, some project highlights and some testimonials from some of our core clients. I'm going to speak into the one from Mary Kay because I think it does a great job of summing it out. Is Orange Lab provides innovative concepts and ideas, has excellent customer service, very responsive, and provides competitive pricing. And last thing I would say is to touch on the testimonials of the FBI. Again, we're working directly with FBI. I actually felt like they bugged our office, but again, working with the FBI, as anyone know, if you do business with the federal government, if you have one bad project, you could get blacklisted within the federal government. So this is our 5th year with that contract, and we've done a excellent job with that contract, and we feel like they're going to renew with us. So in recap and closing, we have a proven track record of service, competitive pricing. We provide trendy products. We have a forward-thinking attitude, and we ultimately want to become your strategic partners on a global scale. So in closing, it will always be about the merchandise, but never just about the merchandise. With Orange Lab, you're going to get quality control, quality assurance, sustainability, diversity and inclusion, competitive pricing, all of the above. And ultimately, again, we want to be your strategic merchandising partner. So we're going to do what we have to do to make sure that your clients and internal clients are happy. So in terms of my contact information, again, I'm the CEO of Orange Lab Media, creative marketing agency that specializes in brand and merchandise. You can reach me at the email and the phone number listed on this slide, or my business partner, Patrick Sr. Some of the internal departments that we work really well with is HR, procurement, supply diversity, marketing teams, and I would dare say HR. Yeah, HR as well. Again, when it comes to awards and recognition programs and sales incentive programs, we have really creative ways of enticing and boosting morale and boosting sales within sales incentive programs. So again, thank you again for the time, and I look forward to working with you guys soon. Take care. Any questions?
Yeah, hi, thanks, Keel. Great job. We do have a question in the chat, but before I ask you that question, I want to remind all the participants to put their contact information into the chat. And also remember that this is recorded and you will be able to access today's Marching Forward Monday on the Novoba YouTube channel if there are any colleagues at your organizations that were unable to join us today for the call. But the question for you, Keel, is are your non-US warehouses through third parties or part of your corporate owned physical footprint?
Yeah, we're a small nimble firm, so they are third party. But in many cases, just like our manufacturers and suppliers, we go to those countries and visit those plants when we create those relationships. We also ensure that they align themselves with our core values, because again, if they don't fit within our core values, then it doesn't make sense to do business with them, because they're not going to be able to do the things or go to the extent of like going back for our clients and going and getting products pushed through the door if we needed them to be rushed. So that's kind of like how we make those decisions. And also, we also send third-party inspection companies to go out to these firms and manufacturing plants and third-party logistics companies to ensure that they follow.
Hey, Vince.
To ensure that they follow our sustainability guidelines and questionnaire.
Okay, terrific. Thank you for that. Any other questions for Keel? I guess we are ready to move on then. Thank you so much. Next up is going to be Veterans Green Coffee. Sergio or Laura, are you ready to share your screen?
Yes, I am.
Go for it. Is that working? Okay.
Hi, good morning. From sunny California, my name is Sergio Santoro. I'm a retired Marine veteran, 20 years. And next to me is...
My name is Laura Booth. I'm disabled veteran, served 7 years in the U.S. Army.
So together, we are the majority of the executive team for Veterans Green Coffee. What is Veterans Green Coffee? We're a veteran-owned and operated coffee brand, and we coined the phrase "good coffee for a good cause." Why is it good coffee for a good cause? Not only is it delicious, is it great? Is it healthy for you as far as craft blend coffees go? But we use our coffee and align ourselves with organizations and companies that want to do good in the community. I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, we're going to start off with our featured products. One of our featured products is Mulatto MP. What is Mulatto MP? It features our proprietary blend coffee. It's a delicious craft blend. It's been FDA approved, and it's a soil-based organic, and it has fulvic and humic acid, so it's 70+ trace minerals and prebiotics, and that accumulates and translates to digestive health. The humic and fulvic acid and prebiotics creates a super absorption to where your cells are working more efficiently and effectively. Not only does it help from a health perspective, it also helps the body absorb that good coffee. And then the humic and fulvic with the 70+ trace minerals replaces the nutrients and it gives the body the fuel that it needs to repair itself and operate in an optimal and effective, efficient manner. So that's Mulatto MP. Next, you're gonna see our K-pods, K-cups and pods. It is a craft blend coffee. In the pod itself is our proprietary coffee, and the pods are recyclable. Each one of our pods at 12 grams. Industry standard for the pods is 9 grams. We wanted to put a little bit more in there because, as you know, in the Keurig machines, it gives you an option for 4 ounces, 10 ounces, 12 ounces, and 8 ounces. So we wanted to give the people that purchase our coffee the opportunity to get a full cup of coffee with each brewing. Next, it's our Veterans Green Coffee, ready to serve. Again, this has our proprietary blend coffee, only found at Veterans Green Coffee. 0 calories, 0 sugar, is shelf stable. Since we do offer a craft blend product, a quality bean, the acidity level in our coffee is very low. You can either serve it hot or over ice for that superb coffee experience, and it comes in a 12-ounce bottle. And then our other products come in an amalgamation of whole roasted bean or ground. Now we featured our Swiss water decaffeinated coffee, which is in the green bag, the upper left. What makes it special? It gets decaffeinated using the Swiss water decaffeination method. It was invented by the Swiss. And then what ends up happening is coffee gets decaffeinated using only water, natural preservatives, and pressure, as opposed to the decaffeination methods that are normally found, and they use chemicals, which is, it leaves a remnants of it in the coffee. It's not healthy for you. So that's what makes our decaffeinated coffee special. All our coffee features a craft blend, medium roast, with the exception of the lower left-hand white bag. That's our bold aged French roast, dark roast, if you would say. That it has that added caffeine kick, but no burnt taste. All our coffee features low acidity, and generally that makes it taste a lot better. And each one of our bags brews up to 44 cups of coffee. Okay, how can you help us? So by purchasing Veterans Green Coffee for yourselves, you could possibly put it in some of your convenience stores. You could buy it for your employees. If you're an airline, you could serve it in your in-flight service. You could feature it in your marketplace or have it for your special events served, featuring that you're supporting a veteran-owned, veteran-operated coffee company. Now, why is it good coffee for a good cause? So we partnered with an organization called the Randy Jones Foundation. And the Randy Jones himself is a Cy Young Award winner, 69. He played for the Padres. He played for the Mets on the East Coast, which I'm from New York. And what does he do? He has an organization that gives scholarships to youth of veteran and military families that otherwise cannot afford to play or just don't have the wherewithal to navigate the system. So he offers military scholarships, economic scholarships, so they can play. And how do we fit in as Veterans Green Coffee? Our coffee is good coffee for a good cause. For every bag of coffee that Randy Jones sells, or for every bag of Veterans Green Coffee, he gets a large percentage of the sale to fund a scholarship initiative. So we're proud of that sponsorship. We're proud of that partnership. On the left, that's featuring two players that are playing in his golf tournament. It's the Singing Hills here in Sycuan. On the right is two veterans that were playing on one of Randy Jones's team, where Veterans Green Coffee actually sponsored that team to play. And in the middle, and this is a relationship we're really proud of, our coffee's featured at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot here in it's the premier training base for Marines here on the West Coast. And at their Command Museum gift shop, our coffee directly supports the Gold Star Family Outreach Program. As you already know, the Gold Star program it features families of the fallen. So we support that program. We're really proud of that. And that's why we're a good coffee for a good cause. And we make it, we're giving back made easy. So we want to be a partner for organizations and corporations that want to reach out and want to provide opportunities for veterans and their families, so we can help you bridge that gap and offer Veterans Green Coffee as a solid product, to where not only do we have a great coffee, but we do good things with it, right? And our main mission for Veterans Green Coffee is to create work off the battlefield for veterans and their families. Now that young gentleman right there bagging up some of our coffee, he works directly with our roaster, and he's a Marine veteran, a Marine combat veteran. And again, we're providing that opportunity for somebody who wants to kind of break into that industry, and he's helping get Veterans Green Coffee ready for the shelf, ready for our e-commerce channels, and maybe ready for you as an organization if you decide to carry out products. And as you already know, Americans appreciate the veterans as much as we appreciate their coffee, and it's almost synonymous with apple pie. Now, of course, with coffee sales, we could do a lot more. And with your help and would you kindly, if inclined, connect us with decision makers, we could take our mission and just move forward, and we could work together to make opportunities available for veterans and their families. Now, Veterans Green Coffee is also found on Amazon. It's also found on the Walmart marketplace. We're also available on our own organic URL, veteransgreencoffee.com. And like I said, it's available in some brick and mortars like the Marine Corps Recruit People gift shop. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. Great job. Any questions from the audience for Veterans Green Coffee? I don't see any right now, so we are going to get ready to move to our next presenter, which is Marsha Wilson. Marsha, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. Let me go
Okay.
toward sharing. When you are ready, let me close.
Sergio,
chat.
can you stop sharing?
Let's see. I'm going to share an application. I'm going to do that one right there. Share. All right. Can you guys see that there? Just want to make sure that's going just right. Is that good?
Yeah, we can't.
Okay. So my name is, push the button. My name is Marsha Wilson. I am a veteran of the U.S. Army. I was in military intelligence. I was a Chinese linguist way back in the 90s. And my husband and I started the company ScaleSec. ScaleSec is a cloud security professional services consulting company focused on working with customers that are building on Amazon and Google Clouds. So I'll go to the next slide. That is us. We have been doing this work our whole lives. Our company is focused on professional services. We've been in business since 2015. We punch above our weight class. We are a company that has been delivering business to business enterprise cloud security since 2015, and we've been in professional services ourselves for our whole career as well. So we have combined over 50 years, just the two of us, of providing professional services in this space. I started off in Booz Allen Hamilton for 10 years, and I was focused on information assurance, information defense there, and also worked for Chef Software before we decided to start our company. And Aaron was at SAIC for 10, 15 years. He also worked at ArcSight, which is a security event management platform, as well as working at Amazon before we decided to start our company. So we have definitely been around the block. We also have been doing very well in 2020. We sold $5 million. 2021 is looking to be, was 5.5, and this year will be closer to $6 million in sales. So we are 25 people. That's a good next slide thing here. So we are 25 people located across the United States. We have 7 of our 25 consultants are veterans, and that includes some female veterans in addition to myself, which I get very excited about. It's hard to find people that are super technical that are also veterans in this space. It's fun to find them, and it's fun to teach and grow them. So we have 25 folks that work across the United States and are highly specialized, and we differentiate from Accenture, PwC, et cetera, by the cloud certifications that each of our individuals hold. So they come at this with years of experience doing the work that they do with the products and the companies they've been with before. And when they get to ScaleSec, we sort of industrialize them, which is to say we give them opportunities to study and become even more amazing, and encourage them and pay them more to get cloud security specific industry relevant certifications. So they'll hold the Amazon and Google professional security certificates. They will hold Amazon and Google's solution architecture certificates, as well as understanding where the world has been when they're on-premises data centers. So we also have them take and sit for and pass the CISSP, which is an industry recognized security certification that's been around a lot longer than even cloud has been. So we are very proud of the people that choose to work with us, and we are a pretty tight team. We're fully remote and again located across the United States. So what do we do? Well, the long story short is ScaleSec unblocks cloud adoption. Security is often cited as one of the top concerns for teams that are looking to move to the cloud. And right now across the world, less so in the United States, but definitely across the world, over 95% of all IT spend still remains on-prem in data centers. And we are looking to help teams that are trying to ensure that when they are choosing to move to the cloud, they're going to be doing it in a secure and safe manner. Oftentimes when cloud adoption is part of the conversation with an enterprise, the CFO is very excited because it's going to be a more transparent way to manage spend. The CTO is excited because it's going to be a more ubiquitous platform to manage. The CIO is excited because the data will all be in one place and not spread across other data centers. But the CISO is often concerned because they're not sure exactly how to manage security on cloud, as it's different than it's on premises. And we have the security expertise to help transition them in a very safe and secure manner. So who do we work for? We currently work across a number of industries, including financial services, technology, healthcare, startups, and retail. Some of the names we're allowed to say that we work for include Capital One, VMware. We work for a company called Dexcom that creates a insulin pump. We have a number of startups that work with us, so we're not just enterprise to enterprise. We also work with the ones that are in Series B, Series C, and we've worked with a number of big box retailers and department stores and many online retailers as well. As long as they're using cloud and using Amazon or Google, we are there to support them. So you may have heard that security and compliance sometimes butt heads, but that is in fact not the case where we are, because we understand that security and compliance is basically two sides of the same coin, which is to say, if you are looking to demonstrate security competence in a particular business model, you want to select a framework that affects your business or your industry. So for example, if you're working in retail and you want to become compliant against PCI DSS, when you are going through a compliance framework or a compliance audit, you're demonstrating that you haven't just employed your own best practices within your environment, but you're using a standard that is established by the industries that you work with and work for, to make sure that you have the best practices in place and have proven it through third-party audit. SOC 2 is also an industry standard that many people choose to go through to demonstrate and unlock sales if they have a product that they want a SaaS-based solution for business. SOC 2 is a common framework that they use in order to demonstrate compliance as well. ISO 27001 is a international standard that a lot of folks that are working across the pond and in the United States will often lean towards. And then of course, FedRAMP, which many of our brethren here may recognize, is often it is a government cloud compliance framework. Specific to ScaleSec, we help companies that want to sell their SaaS services to the government become FedRAMP ready. We actually have 3 different engagements going on right now. One is called a landing zone, and one is an assessment, and another is an advisory to help people understand, if they've never worked with the government before, what they need to do in order to get their FedRAMP authority to operate. What do we do when we get there? Oh, go back. No, go back. Goodness gracious sakes alive. Please go back. It's going, there we are. Very good then. So we do security advisory all the way down to the engineering. So we don't come in and just create PowerPoints and leave you to it. We make sure that we start off with understanding the program that you want to make sure you're capable of delivering. And then within that program that you establish, what are the parts that you still need help with? So we can help you with working with your vulnerability management systems, working with your security monitoring teams. We can work with your software developers and help them understand how to include security testing as part of their code. We help with workload security. So if folks are using containers, or if they're using serverless, we can help them make sure the workloads are secure. We also work, of course, with the platforms, setting up Amazon and Google to be strong platforms to support your applications. And then we also do a lot of the coding as well. So we're able to make sure that you can put together your security as code in your environment. So we are recognized by Google and have been a partner with them since 2018. We have the security specialization with them, and we are one of the first 3 firms to hold that certification with Google. We are a very strong supporter of folks using Google Cloud. There's a lot of folks out there that enjoy using that cloud, and we're able to sit side by side with them and help them be stronger in their security posture using Google Cloud. We are also a security partner with Amazon. We have been so since 2015, and we have both the public sector and the security services competency. A couple of examples of folks that we have worked with include Dawn Foods. We did a gap assessment for them. They were using Google Cloud, and they just wanted to make sure that as they were moving forward, they had everything addressed. And we stuck around a little bit afterwards and helped them with some of the remediation that they felt their team didn't quite have a handle on. We work pair programming, which is to say we work side by side with the teams that employ us in order to make sure that when we leave, there's not a gap left. But their teams are empowered and capable of delivering the work that they need on those clouds. Same thing with AWS. This was a engagement where we came through and made sure they understand the security foundations that were going to make them successful using Amazon's cloud. Some people worry about having consultants in their environment, but the way that we set up our environment is to make sure that we are not accessing any of your data. The way that it's built out, it's safe and simple, and our consultants deliver engineering services without accessing that data and collaborating with the engineering teams just to make sure that that we are not seeing anything in production. And that's the end. So we are a Cloud Security Alliance partner. We are BBB accredited. We are with we participate actively with the PCI Council, NAVOBA certified, and Service Disabled Veteran Owned certified. So I will stop sharing, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to entertain. Otherwise, I've put my information in there so you can contact us if you want to have a chat and understand more.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Marcia. You do have 2 questions in the chat. One is, I just lost it. Can you share your SOC2 assessment report? And the other is, do you align with UK regulator compliance framework as well?
So for the first question, we are not a product, and therefore we do not have a SOC 2 certification. We are only consultants, and we come in as basically engineers. So our company does not hold a SOC 2 certification.
Okay.
We have worked with other companies that have engagements going on in the UK. And so I'd have to do a little research to see which one the regulations you're talking about is, but we have worked over there with companies looking not only for GDPR, but also for ISO 27000. And you said there was one more question?
Yes, this is coming from one of our corporate allies. If we find a company that has cybersecurity gaps, do we pay you to remediate, or does the supplier pay you?
I would assume that the engagement would be sort of a mutual handoff to say, hey, we've met this company. It sounds like they could use some assistance. If you guys can help with the remediation and implementation of proper security practices, we would set up an agreement with them, a services agreement with them, and work directly with the person that's needing the remediation.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
It was wonderful to hear your presentation. Great job. Now we're ready for our final, and that will be Kelvin Goodwin. Kelvin, are you ready to share your screen?
I am. I don't have a PowerPoint. I normally use my capabilities in our website, so just bear with me for a moment.
Go ahead.
All right. So I think it's good morning for me because I'm on vacation right now. So it's still early morning for me, and good afternoon to everybody else. My name is Kelvin Goodwin. I'm the CEO of TIP Investigations and Security. We are a nationwide company with international outreach. We have 2 parts of the company. One focuses on security, that's physical security, as well as data security. And then the other portion of the company is investigations. Both are certified as service connected, disabled, veteran owned, and we are SAM registered. So we do federal contracts with the federal government mostly with the Department of Justice and private entities. So I will start with talking about the service we provide for investigations. So on the investigation side, we deal with a lot of white collar crime and cases that go to trial or go to court. The biggest portion that we do deal with are the criminal investigations and civil investigations. The criminals, the white collar crime, those are your murders, your rapes, your assaults types cases. The civil investigations is more broad for the civilian population as well as law enforcement, military. And that covers everything from child custody issues. We do a lot of family law investigations. We investigate for custodial purposes, like who would best get or best be in a position for custody. For those who are not familiar with how the legal work, GALs, guardian ad litems, we work a lot with, and those are attorneys that represent the best interests of minor children. So a lot of our investigations does focus on family law, and that's helping people who are going through divorce or people who are looking for ways to protect themselves. We do risk mitigation within the homes to determine a child's needs. You know, a lot of it falls under DDS, which is for the developmentally disabled individuals, where if you have a child who has a disability that impacts their life, then we go in and we talk to both parents. We also mediate with the court and mediate with doctors to determine, provide a better atmosphere for that child. We also do a lot of background investigations. Background investigations fall under two categories. One is Fcra, that's your Federal Credit Reporting Act. The other one is intel gathering. So for those of you who have employees, the new federal mandate that falls on the Fcra is to ensure that if you're going to take adverse action based on a person's background to determine whether or not they're going to get a job or move forward in the application, we do Fcra compliant backgrounds. That protects companies who are going to need a background check on a potential employee, where let's say that you have somebody that is going to apply for a job and their main job is a driver and they're going to use a company car. One of the most important things you want to do with those applicants are ensure that they have a driver's license, or ensure that their driver's license isn't suspended, or if they're going to be operating a company vehicle, do they have any DUIs? A lot of companies, what ends up happening is they forego the Fcra compliant backgrounds, and then one of their employees gets into a car accident and is found out that they had 17 car accidents that they were at fault for. Had the employer known about that, they probably wouldn't have hired that individual to be a driver for their company. So a lot of the work that we do on the background is to protect companies from liability. And then that transitions us into employee relations, HR internal investigations, HR sexual harassment investigations. So a lot of our investigations are to protect companies, but also protect employees. We get a lot of questions about what if Walmart hired us to do an employee relations investigation, and let's say that Walmart ends up being at fault based on the investigation. What I always tell people is we don't look at who is paying the bill, whether it's Walmart, we look at the facts. If the investigation finds that Walmart was wrong, then that's what our report will say. So it doesn't matter who pays us or who foots the bill or who hired us. We go where the facts lead us, and whatever evidence speaks to, that's how we report. And as I've already mentioned, we do a lot of child engagement investigations, divorce cases. And then I will bring up our investigation. This is our capability statement. So TIP investigations, the TIPP stands for transparent, independent, professional, and proficient. That is our core values. And I took those from, I'm an Eagle Scout and I'm also a United States Army veteran. I take morals and values and I hold them in very high regard in my personal life, in my family, with my children, but as well in my professional life, because I think that those are values that that everybody should strive to have incorporated in some aspect of their life. It's always good to be transparent in your professional life and your personal life. And obviously, being able to be independent is important. And obviously, in business, it's always good to be professional and proficient in the work that you do. So one of the things that we do, I mentioned the FCRA background checks. A few of the things that I'll mention that it comes with are addresses, employment verifications, special license verification. Those are like your doctors, your teachers. Are they actually nurses? So one of the cases that I had recently was there was this nurse who was working at a hospital for 17 years, and she applied to work in a federal agency. Well, we determined that she was never even a nurse. She never even went to college. She was able to trick the system to believe that she was an actual nurse. So it's important if somebody's applying, as this example, a nurse, are they actual nurse? Did they go to college? Verify through the college. Did they go to college? Verify, do they actually have their RN license? Especially in the state, whether they have a state license or a national license. We do driver license verifications, as I mentioned, I-9 verification, that's immigration. I did mention affirmative action. For those of you who don't know what affirmative action is, affirmative action, again, is an action that an employer takes based on the outcome of a background. And that protects the employer, where the employer can say, we are not going to hire you because you applied to be a driver and your license is suspended. The affirmative action allows that employer to take action based on the background so that they can't get sued for discrimination. All of our drug testing are DOT standard. We have 7 to 10 years, 5, 9, and 10 panel. Drug testing we use a lot for the doctor's offices and veterinarian clinics that we represent, those who have narcotics on site. And then workplace incident alcohol and drug testing that pertains to employees that get injured on the job. And we are partnered with Quest Diagnostic, and we are able to send them to get tested to determine, did alcohol play a role in whatever happened on site? Were they under the influence of some type of drug, with opioids or vapes or anything like that? Employment investigations, Title 10, that's your gender, your creed, religion, that all falls under federal purview. And then obviously workplace violence and harassment, as far as that goes. As you see over here, our past performance, we've done over millions for several different types of agencies, both private and public, through RFPs and RFQs. And then we can move into the security aspect. So I myself have over 19 years of security and law enforcement experience. I was an military police in the military. I went into counterintelligence in the military, and then I went into the Secret Service for the Department of the Army and Department of Defense, providing high threat security. Combined, our company and our staff has over 40 years of experience in security. We do everything from money transport, that's your banks, that's your Brinks types companies. We do dignitary transports, those are your ambassadors or high level executives, CEOs, Tesla, those types of people, drivers, motorcades. We also provide personal liaisons for companies that are going to events where they need some physical security protection, or bodyguard is probably the more layman's term that everybody knows, bodyguards. We do both unarmed and armed security patrol. That's, we do a lot of security for residential areas and leasing agencies. We offer 24/7, we have enough staff to offer 24/7 premise security. That's your roving patrols. And as over here, you see again, on the security side, rental property securities, private individuals, those are, we have 2 basketball players and 1 baseball player that we provide physical security for annually. Banks, the Brinks or the money transport. And then the last thing that I'll bring back up on the website is our security services that I brushed over briefly. Again, we do a lot of high threat security, so that's both international and national. We are members of a lot of law enforcement agencies here. So one of our newest buildings is in Texas, is in Dallas. So we just started ramping up our training for active shooter scenarios that occur. I'm sure you all heard of of the recent active shooter event that happened in Oviedo, Texas, where the 19 children were killed. So we've been doing a lot of security updates for schools here in Texas, ensuring that law enforcement and on-site security or law enforcement have the proper tools and the education and guidance to ensure that we can mitigate the amount of active shooter events that occur in the state of Texas and in the state of New York. And that is pretty much everything that we do.
Okay, thank you, Kelvin. Hey, question then. So I'm
Yes.
thinking as I'm listening to your talk about background checks and so forth, besides working with our corporate allies, Novopa has a number of staffing agencies who are certified veteran-owned businesses, potential partners for you as well, who could utilize your services, because I'm sure that there's background checks whenever they're placing workers in corporate environments. So sometimes that corporation might be your client, but maybe the staffing agency could also work with you. Does anyone have any questions for Kelvin? You do have a comment or two in the chat you could take a look at. Just wondering if anyone has any additional questions regarding TIP investigations. I'm not seeing any.
Nancy, this is Teresa. I do have a question. And
Okay.
maybe Kelvin covered it and I didn't catch it. I was just sitting here being in awe. Do you do any physical security assessments for facilities?
Yes, so we, the majority of the physical security assessments we do are on the banks, and then we have 2 that are for hotels. So we do physical security assessments where we come in and look to see if there's any breaches or possible thin layers of security that we can ramp up to improve your physical security at your locations, yes.
But specifically only in hospitality and finance? I mean, could you go to other industries?
Yes. We can go to every industry that has or needs security, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
Babe.
Great. Another question in the chat is, how does an individual fix incorrect background data? Any ideas on that?
Yes, so there are, and I think somebody also mentioned about federal background. So there's 2 types of backgrounds that are used for employment purposes that you can change. One is under the Fcra, and the other one is federal. So currently, the federal government uses OPM, who falls under DOD. Any corrections that you need to make that fall under federal purview would go directly through OPM, that's Office of Personnel Management. And from the private sector, that is something that we can adjudicate with an authorization from an individual if there is something in their background. So let's say that you applied to work at Staples and they said that you have a drug charge from 1998. We would be able to go into the system and determine if that is legitimate, and if it is wrong, then we would coordinate between the reporting agent, or excuse me, the reporting agency and the applicant. And then we would verify, we would coordinate between the 3 individuals and get that fixed. But it is possible to have that data updated, yes.
Good question. Anyone else? Well, thank you all for your attention today. I think we had four excellent presentations. I just want to check and see if Mimi has anything she'd like to share before we sign off.
I am good to go, Nancy, but thank you for checking in. I thought they were great presentations, so thank you. And thanks for everyone attending.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you all.